You know what I mean? Like, don't nobody understand that. The whole world think that that Christ opened up the way for the white man to be saved, for the Chinese and Japanese. But in Romans, it tell you when we fell as a people, salvation came into the Gentiles. You know what I mean? And it's twofold. Like salvation came to the white man and Chinese and Japanese. They all in their kingdom right now. And on another level, it's talking about Israel too. Like when the ones that was picked to be, when our religious leaders, when they stood up to be the people of the Lord, or even the Jews back on the time of Yahushua, the ones in the land, the priests and the Pharisees and the Sadducees, when they wasn't doing the job, salvation was opened up to everybody. All the fold of Israel that was scattered, they was able to come back into the fold. But nobody understands that them Gentiles in the New Testament is talking about Israel. None of them understand that due to the precepts and the scriptures in the Old and the New Testament, that Israel was cut off by the Most High for disobeying certain laws, not following certain rules on the holidays, not doing certain things. Israel, we were Gentiles. Hell, we the Gentiles that Yahushua died to come get. Like the brothers bring it out all the time. We them same Gentiles. I wasn't born with this. I was a filthy heathen. I was an American all my damn life, doing American shit. You know what I'm saying? Doing all type of American madness, man. Looking at cocaine like, boy, that's gonna be my new get high. The Lord saved me, delivered me. I ain't get to it, but boy, I was this close. A lot of us went there, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us went there. But we are the Gentiles, like our babies, you know what I'm saying? They growing up, not even having no shrimp and pork and crab. But mine was bringing this out the other day. Like my son, unless the babysitter and snuck him a little something, he ain't ate no abomination, you know what I'm saying? And I don't believe they eat none either, because they came up under some Christian/Muslim not eat pork thing anyway, you know what I mean? But who knows? But we are the Gentiles that Christ died for. And St. David said, through thy precepts, you get understanding. He got understanding, that's how we all get understanding. Like Isaiah said, precept upon precept, read.
Therefore I hate every false way.
So now, if you want to dialogue with me, trying to figure out the Lord, trying to figure out what's right or what we should do, and you're not going by the instructions and the knowledge of the Most High and his understanding, then you're dealing with a false way. You're dealing with a false way that's hated. David said, I hate every false way. Any other way, other than precept upon precept, as it is written, is a false way. And then the Lord hated. The Lord put the spirit on David to say, I hate every false way. Go back to Jeremiah 23. and read 2 again. Try to go a little faster too.
Jeremiah 23, verse 2, everybody there.
Wow.
Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away.
The Lord said these pastors, these religious leaders, they scattered the flock of the Lord and driven them away. Why? Because they're not teaching the truth according to the Bible. They're not going according to the precepts. They read the lake of fire, and automatically they believe in the Roman Catholic Church, who taught them anyway about the lake of fire. They believe in the fiery furnace and the red cat with the tail and the pitchfork and all that. Instead of checking out the precepts about hell, they would have found Deuteronomy, where the Lord said, I'm going to burn you with hunger. I'm going to burn you. I'm going to kindle a fire is kindled in my anger. Like he compared fire with the hell that he put on our behind. Hell, my father used to say that, or my grandmother, I'm a tie fire to your ass, boy. I'm a tie fire to your ass. And I know she wasn't going to set me on fire. Everybody be hell on my ass. You know what I'm saying? She's going to tie fire to my ass. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord talking to him. Go ahead.
Praise man. And have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing.
The Lord said he's going to come at these reverends, man. He about to destroy these reverends and expose all their evil. Like the Lord do it little by little. Like I don't know if y'all remember Shalom years ago when we was on Cheltenham. It came out the Penthouse magazine. Like a bunch of big churches in New York was having role play and fucking each other, the men, faggot sex in the churches and shitting on each other's chests, all type of nasty. And how I got in the Penthouse, they was going to South America and bringing young men up down and having them be part of the church and the you know, the church body, and I guess the deacon boys and all that, and having, after the church closed down, they go on the streets dressed like women, and they kidnap each other like role players, like come in, get them in the church and have sex with them. Blowing ride to where one of these South American boys, they got some new boys, and he was feeling shorted, and he was mad, and he was getting high and everything, so he said, you know what? He got a camera, he went and apologized to the reverend, he got up in there doing one of their little shows, they high as hell, he was taking pictures. Sent them over to the penthouse. They got the reverend, I seen it. A black reverend holding a rod, about 2 feet of rod to his lip. With seed on it, y'all. On the rod, on his lip, and he was like raising his lip down the rod with seed on it. He high. And I said, damn, that cat was mad at these cats. They was in the Penthouse magazine. I don't know if Johanna kept that copy. I meant to keep a copy forever. But they exposed them and said it was about 3 big churches and a bunch of little subsidiary churches all into that nasty shit in New York.
My cousin was telling me, my cousin put me to the truth, was telling me that some Baptist ministers nowadays still do something to that effect. Sure. Where they take you into a seclusion area with them and you have to do some unnatural act and they have to be able to keep a secret and all this kind of crap.
Right. Them evil cats get power. And ain't nowhere to go, but let's do some nasty freak shit against the Lord. I got all this power and money, and Esau setting me up. Let's do some nasty shit. And that's what they do. Excuse my language. I know your mom might listen to the tape. Go to Ezekiel. Okay, so she won't listen to this. Read on.
Bottom verse 2. Saith Yahweh, verse 3. And I will gather the remnant of my flock.
Now the Lord said He's going to gather the remnant of His flock. Hold that before we finish 3. Go to Ezekiel 34 and 31. Who is the flock of the Most High? Who is the flock of the Most High? He said He's going to gather the remnant of my flock. That's what the Lord said. Now we're going to find out who the flock of the Lord is, because I done seen a lot of women jumping up and down up in the church, acting like they the shepherds and all that. Read on. Hold up, where we at? Go ahead, read, finish 3, read on.
Out of all countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase.
Go ahead. 4.
And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them.
Now stop there. The Lord said He's going to gather a remnant of His flock out of all the countries where He drove them, and bring them again to their folds, and they're going to be fruitful and increase, and He's going to set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them. The Lord's going to set up these new pastors. He called them my flock. Then He said He's going to set them up to be the new pastors of His flock. That's going to feed the people, like He said in the 2nd verse. Read on. I mean, like He said in 3 and 15. Read Ezekiel 34 and 31. Yeah, come.
Ezekiel 34 and 31. And ye, my flock.
And ye, my flock, again, same thing He said in Jeremiah. Go ahead.
The flock of my pasture are men.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The Lord said, and ye, my flock. In Jeremiah 23 and 3, He said, I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries whither I had driven them. In 34 and 31 of Ezekiel, He said what?
And ye, my flock.
And ye, my flock. Go ahead.
The flock of my pasture are men.
Men are the flock of the Most High. We the people of the Lord, who the Lord said He's going to gather out of all the countries where He had driven them and bring them to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. We the men, and there's a lot more to be gathered, and the Lord going to take out of all walks of life, from all type of countries, and from the West Indies, from the Hispanic countries and all that. Brothers from all walks of life and seen a bunch of different things from all over the place. The Lord going to come together and bring them right in this fold, man. And we're going to be the flock in the pastures that's going to feed the people, because they need to be fed. Philly for sure need to be fed. The whole country need to be fed. You know what I'm saying? They need it. You going to say something? Stop. The Lord said He going to do that, man. We ran into a brother the same night the brother told us about the sister with the AIDS. We ran into a brother Johanna knew from New York a Levite brother, so-called Haitian. He said, yeah, man, yeah, I miss doing them garments. I got to do the garments. We looked at him, we said, we need the garments. So he gave Hannah his number and gave Kabbalah his number, and he saluted the whole thing. He up here rolling with ham and everything. He probably just stepped away, held the truth in his heart, know the truth, and now the Lord might be coming for him again. You know what I'm saying? We for sure. If you get somebody to get do with conscience out, boy, y'all be throwing it up. We be throwing it up. Like I said, I saw God in Jesus Christ, and the only thing that looked good was them garments.
You saw him today.
He was telling me.
Yeah,
he
we saw him was up there.
I saw Rapayala downtown. Yeah. Like, you know, about 3 people listening, but, you know, he hollered, you know, whatever they talking about. I said, man, them garments look good.
Yeah, they came up when they got
you know what I mean? So, and that's it, you know what I'm saying? But hell, the Lord ain't gonna let us in the kingdom just because we look good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't all he required. He got to change.
Smash them cats.
Let's change this nigga here. He got to change this nigga. And you know what? By crushing, by just going out there and teaching the truth, they gonna be crushed. Cause they, like, even when we started in DC and started in Philly, you remember it shook them up. Like they got cats coming back to us and seeing what's going on. We came to us in Baltimore 30 deep. Like just doing the truth gonna shake them. Like they so small, like we small as hell. They shouldn't even give a damn about us. Right. They small as hell. We shouldn't give a damn about them. Right. But we should go out there and conquer all the lies that come against us. They come up against us while we doing our job. Right. They'll be dead, shut down, and destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And if they never come up before us, the whole city won't hear about them new cats down 52nd and Market or downtown or wherever the Lord put us. Just cussing everybody out talking about the Lord. The whole city won't hear about that. That's what they don't have no more. They don't have the Spirit of the Lord. Along with the lies they got, they didn't lack the Spirit of the Lord. But it's about to come back to Philly. Read.
Okay.
Ezekiel 34:31 again. And ye my flock, the flock of my pasture are men, and I am your power, said the Lord Yahweh.
Right. So now if the pastors are men, who the hell are these women trying to stand up and be pastors and reverend? What did Timothy say? Timothy said a woman she's supposed to keep her mouth shut. She's supposed to be silent. Let's get that real quick. Get that real quick. 1 Timothy 2:11. First of all, the Lord's flock is men. We know that. Now, these men that's up in the Christian churches, could it be them? Hell no. They don't understand the precepts. They're not following the law. They're not following the commandments. The ones that fear me and keep my commandments, they're not doing that. They're not doing that. And now the nigger woman, could she be the shepherd that the Lord talking about? That he gonna set up? Could she be the one to feed the nation? Hell no. The flock of the Lord pastors are men. Go ahead.
It's funny that you just said Negro woman.
Mm-hmm.
The nigger woman.
The nigger woman.
Because if you notice, like it ain't like I don't see no other tribes up there like trying to preach.
You got don't forget about Joyce Myers now.
And she
a white lady.
Yeah, I'm talking about out of the tribes
in Israel.
I'm talking about Israel.
Actually, in North Philly, there's a Ephraimite woman that has a church out there.
Oh yeah.
That's the one that Juanita's mom and to.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if I saw the other tribes being, you know, the women being pastors too, trying to be reverend. Right. But ain't nobody as big mouth and loud and thinking she all authority of the Lord, but the nigger woman. I'm sure that Ephraimite woman you said, right? I'm sure she like these nigger women just jumping around and oh boy, they own the Bible. Like they got the patent on scripture. And ain't nothing but black women that come up to us and say, what y'all talking about out here? Right. Like we out of order because we didn't get permission for her to quote a scripture on the street. Right. That's how the nigger woman come. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how the Hispanic women come, but the nigger woman is out of her mind. Read 1 Timothy 2:11. Hold up, let me get it first started. Started like 9.
I'll take it.
Okay. Hold up, read started 8.
1 Timothy 2:8. And I will therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubt.
Lifting up them hands, give prayer. That's what Paul's talking about. Go ahead.
In like manner also, the women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
Now, a man of the Lord is supposed to always pray and do the things that Paul's talking about. up on top. Now the holy women now, in like manner, just like that, the women supposed to adorn themselves what?
With modest apparel.
Modest apparel. Don't be dressing like no hoe. Be modest. Cover yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Don't have it all exposed. Go ahead.
With shamefacedness and sobriety.
Have some shame. Be, you know what I'm saying? There's some things you should be ashamed to do. Right. Be shamefaced and so with shamefacedness and sobriety. Be clear-minded. Don't be all into everything. And you know what I'm saying? Be all obnoxious and loud and not ashamed to run your mouth and be disrespectful.
Like she almost said on the cake down in D.C. get their stomach hanging out looking like a head.
Say that again?
The girls got their stomach hanging out looking like somebody's head.
Like a brain.
Look like a brain. That's what it looked like. A one-eyed monster.
I've seen these women showing with the shortest skirts with the nastiest legs, lines and craters and shit over top of each other. Excuse my French. And it's ridiculous. They got no shame. No. And big women know they could be nasty as they want, but somebody going to try to get their behind because of the rusted American push. Right. Like Negroes just want some behind. They don't care which one. They'll get it in the dark. Listen, just don't tell nobody. Come on, you know what I mean? They'll get it. They know. Somebody looking at that blubber hanging down out that little shirt. Somebody looking at it. Somebody like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Somebody looking. Go ahead.
Not with braided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly erect.
Like don't make that the focus of your life to the women. Don't think because you look all good and have your hair all done and all right and looking wonderful and looking expensive and dressing with expensive jewelry and clothing. Don't think that that's you a godly woman because of that. You got the big giant hat, $10 joint, sitting up there with the best clothes. Like Christian women talk about each other in the church too. Right. They talk about each other. I know a Christian woman went to pick up a granddaughter. And the granddaughter came to the door. She was about 9, came to the door with a run in her stocking. And the woman said, "You ain't going with me looking like that," and pulled off, went to church. I said, that is disgusting. Because why? She take her granddaughter in the church. She know she going to get talked about in the church. She know all they do is gossip and talk about who got one. Who I know. Hey, babe, hey, Sister Betty, hey. Sister Betty granddaughter too. That ain't the Holy Ghost. That ain't the Holy Ghost.
Don't be able not to cook.
You know what I mean?
They talk about your food.
Well, she can't keep house. Lord bless her, but ain't. You know, they talk mad, talk about each other. Go ahead.
Verse 10. But which becometh women professing godliness with good works.
Like do good works. That's how a woman's supposed to be, profess godliness, with her good works, her righteous act. Do what a man said. Right. Do what a charity. The Lord said, what did the Lord say? Through charity and childbearing, they going to be blessed. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Let the woman learn in silence. She ain't supposed to be running her mouth in front of men on the corner talking about the Bible. She running her mouth like she the authority. She ain't supposed to run her mouth about nothing. Let her learn in silence with all subjection. Go ahead.
But I suffer not a woman to teach.
And they sure ain't supposed to be teaching. So if they can't teach, the Lord said they can't teach, who the hell are they to think that they pastors and shepherds of the Lord? Right. And pastors and reverends and deacons? Right. Who the hell are they? When the Lord said he suffered them not to teach. He don't put that burden on them. That's why he say suffer. Because that's a burden. If you ever have to teach Israel, deal with the problem, deal with the councils, raise up men, and then deal with the financial problems, run the department. That's a ton of work. We the ones supposed to go out there before the Muslims, before jihad, before the Moab, before the world, and tell them that they are heathens and that we the people of the Lord. And y'all gonna let my people go. The Lord said he's gonna destroy y'all. We the people got to go risk our life. We the ones. The Lord don't want to win. He don't suffer them to go do that. We the ones got to hazard our life, like it's saying in Acts. Men that have hazarded their life. We the ones got to do that. That's our job. Right. So the Lord said he don't even suffer that on them. He suffered not a woman to teach. Go ahead.
Nor to usurp authority over the man. Nor
to be in no type of authority over the man. And that ain't just entitled. Like if you running your mouth over a man, you trying to be an authority. They don't understand that. If you no, it don't. Well, how about something? Now you trying to take authority. You trying to be the one that's right. You're supposed to shut your mouth. Right. If you learn in silence, if you don't teach, if you be quiet, then you're showing that you ain't trying to take no authority. Like a woman, like the Lord is so bad that, what it say in Proverbs? It say a clamorous woman is foolish and knoweth nothing. Now, if a woman come up to you and say, well, I ain't loud, clamorous mean loud and undisciplined. Now, she come up and say, I ain't clamorous, I ain't loud and undisciplined. She showing she loud and undisciplined by what she's saying. Like she said, I ain't trying to usurp no authority over you. She just tried to usurp authority over you. You know what I'm saying? It's like they cut their own throats, and the Lord bad the way he set it up like that. Go ahead.
But to be in silence.
To be in silence. And that's Most High in Christ. That's how it's supposed to be. They ain't supposed to be pastors. They ain't supposed to be reverends. They ain't supposed to be teaching no men. They ain't supposed to have no authority over you. Your word's supposed to be the last word. Give me Isaiah 30 and 20. And I see plenty of women. They be out on the streets of D.C. Women like sitting in front of stores with their bullhorns hollering, Jesus, playing a little music in the background. Nobody bothered them. Right. But they bother the prophets of the Lord. Exactly. Go ahead.
On verse 13 and 14, this is part of the reason why the Lord said he didn't want them doing that, because of what Eve did, right? Is that what he's saying there?
Let me see. For Adam was first formed. Let me say, you authority over the man, but to be in silence. Right, you can read that. Read 13.
For Adam was first formed, then Eve.
Right, he's saying that he created Adam first. Mm-hmm. Eve was only created to be a what to Adam? A helpmate. He said, I don't want man to be alone. I don't even want Adam to be alone. So he created a helpmate for him. He created Eve for him. Go ahead.
And Adam was not deceived.
And on top of that, like the Lord created men to be his flock, his shepherds, the ones that have dominion. He just created a woman to support him while he have dominion. So that's why she's supposed to shut up and keep her mouth shut, because the Lord ain't created for that. He created man for that. He created Adam to have dominion. A woman was just to help him. Like you go to war, you got the dominion. That's what the Lord created you for. When you done the war, she's supposed to give you some juice, some nice tall glass of lemonade or something. Right. She's supposed to make you a sandwich. That's her job, to take care of you while you take care of the Lord's business. Go ahead.
But the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
Now the reason why she's supposed to be quiet and not have authority, because the Lord created a man to be an authority over her. And on top of that, Adam wasn't deceived. But the woman being deceived was in the transgression. She the one was beguiled by Satan. She the one was beguiled in the garden. Adam had the dominion. Adam was smart. He had the dominion. He did what the Lord said. Now, his problem was he listened to his helpmate. He gave her authority. She came to him with something to drop on him, something for him, and he allowed her to have authority. That was his problem. He supposed to have the authority and dominion. She ain't supposed to make no decisions on doing this. The Lord gave him instructions. Right. He made the mistake and listened to her. That was his transgression. Tell you in Genesis. Good.
And then I found out too that a woman that you ain't married to don't want to listen to you. They don't think you have to listen to you because you ain't her husband. They don't think she's supposed to listen to you.
Is she SHALAM? Go ahead.
Oh, no. If I'm not her husband, she don't have to listen to me. And I'm speaking the word of the Lord, she don't think she's supposed to listen to me anyway because I ain't her man.
Right. Do she have a man? Now, if she got a man.
If she don't have a man, if she do have a man, if he not speaking the word to the Lord, he don't know what to tell her.
Right, he don't know what to tell her. Now, the Lord said she's still supposed to be under him though.
Right.
Like now, let's say you go up to a sister and you want to tell her the truth, tell her what the Lord said. Now, if you just telling her, that's fine. If she say, well, I got a husband, he said he don't want me to deal with this or deal with that or whatever, then she should abide by what he said. You know what I'm saying? Now, she ain't got to listen to him. If she know the Lord say one thing, not to eat pork, and he telling her to eat pork, she ain't got to do that. Right. She ain't got to do that. If he telling her to worship Allah, and she don't want to because she know the Lord say Allah ain't God, she ain't got to do that. No. And there was a woman, when the disciples had told the people to go gather up their money and bring it together for a certain mission, it was a man, he had sold his property and they got the money from it and kept back some of the money. He said he gonna give the money, but he kept back some and went and lied to the disciple. And the disciple said, why he lied, why you lied? The Lord killed him for that. And then this woman came, and she come, and they asked her about it. They said, why did you bring all the money? And she said, yeah, we brought all the money. She lying, not knowing her husband dead yet. Right. And they said that the men that carry your husband out, they about to carry you out too. And the Lord killed her right then and there. She listened to her husband, but listened to her husband in evil. Right. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord killed her for it. So she ain't got to listen to her husband. But like we dealing with the same, DC is a sister that been rolling with us from the beginning. Used to take us in the house, feed us and all that. And you know, she used to be a whore. She used to be different things, came up rough, but she cooked and fed us and all that. And she started changing our life. We was teaching her in our house and all that. She coming to the speaker, we hanging out with her and all that. Then another sister got with her. We was hanging out with both of them. Now, she wanted a man. She coming to Johanna real strong, trying to look at behind her a little sideways. The girlfriend was looking at me, but they had a lot of fixing to get done. You know what I'm saying? The girlfriend still got some fixing to get done. And finally, you know, she fixed herself and was on the right track. And the Lord sent her a good brother. Ain't give her Johanna, but gave her a good brother, man. Not saying that he good, but gave her a brother that she wanted, that she enjoyed. Right. And she with him and been with him. He was coming out of jail. He got with her. They been rolling. Some jam up. He went back to jail. We prayed with her. We prayed. She went to see him. Was going to see him often. He out now. They right, but he don't like us too much. You know what I'm saying? But she love him, and he treat her good. You know what I'm saying? And she love him and come to us and tell us, well, he don't want me to come around, but she come to the speaking when she can. She taught us at the speaking. She don't come to class though. So we just tell her, you know, the words of the Lord when we the speaking when we see it, but we for sure don't tell her to go against him. You know what I mean? So, go ahead.
Now suppose there's a brother in here in his house with his mother and sister. How do we handle that? He's trying to spread the word to the house, and they telling you that, you know, I'm not their husband and all this stuff. Right. And I'm supposed to be the head of the house.
Right. Well, okay, now them telling you okay, the prophets supposed to have been obeyed too. You're a prophet of the Lord. So you saying the words of the Lord, they should listen to you saying the word of the Lord. Right. You're right about that. What you saying is the truth. And you don't have to be their husband for them to listen to you. That's your point. You're a prophet of the Lord. Like the prophet spoke to everybody. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be their husband to listen to them. You just telling them the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can show them the scriptures and all that, but that's not because you're not their husband. Are they saying you're not supposed to tell them nothing because so that's a tricky situation. That's your family. You living with a brother living with his mother and his sister. He in the house, so he going to drop the truth on them. Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't no sin against that whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Now, after a while, they ain't hearing it. He may have to leave it alone for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And just concentrate, you know, on himself until come back on that later. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they ain't hearing. It's been a while, they ain't hearing. You might want to just step back a little and do his thing, but you're not in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? A brother ain't in the wrong if he in the house, in his house and teaching his family, teaching women and telling them what's right. You know what I'm saying? So that's not wrong. But for sure, if a brother teaching a woman, let's say I'm in my job and this sister, I'm constantly dropping on her the truth, and let's say she hearing it, and she hearing it, and then she go tell her husband, yeah, this guy at the job, he telling me this, he come cuss me the hell out. Say, look, man, I don't like this stuff. You telling my woman something. I don't want you doing that no more, something. Brother, I only was telling her the truth, but I apologize. That is your woman. I'm not going to say nothing else to her. You know what I'm saying? That's the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So, that's right.
That's a lot. That's too, like, I know we be wanting everybody to get it and everything, but there's a scripture the Lord say, Christ say, my sheep hear my voice, and another voice they will not hear. So eventually, you know, it may not be their time or that sister time or that sister husband time to wake up to the truth. But if they are chosen, whether it's going to be this year or 5 years from now, they're going to come in the truth somehow. Because Christ said, my sheep hear my voice, and another voice they will not hear, like us. Like, we was in church and mass jig and all that before. But when we heard the truth, we woke up. Like, that's Yahweh. I'm going back to my Lord. And then, you know, now we're here. And it's the same thing with others. We be wanting everybody to get it so bad because the Lord opened our understanding up. And it's like $1 billion is way more than $1 billion. You know what I mean? We want everybody to get it. But we just got to remember too, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, certain people going to have their time that the Most High just going to open their spirit up to it if he wants to. Because remember, 2/3 of Israel ain't going to make it out of here. So that's a lot of Israelites. 2/3. That's like what? 2 out of every 3 people walking the earth is going to die in America. It's a lot.
It's sad that. That's why I say the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Not only the people going to be hollering and screaming, they're going to be dying. We're going to be living through it. Screaming and crying. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough deal. Okay, so I'm going to try to run through a few more. Isaiah 30 and 20.
And so we still will pray for one.
That's right. That's right, brother.
Come.
You said Isaiah 30 and 20?
Come. There's a whole multitude after that 144,000. Whole multitude of people, wives and children and family and sisters and brothers. It's up to the Lord. The Lord said he'll have mercy on who he have mercy. Like my mother, a brother, mother in the world might be rebellious against the truth and not listening. Lord might have mercy on her. And she be in the kingdom. My mother might do the same thing, rebellious, not listening. He may not have mercy on her. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to him to have mercy on whom he will. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important that we just pray. Pray that everybody get that mercy that we got. Isaiah 30 and 20. I think it was my turn. Okay.
Isaiah 30 and 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity.
Now, even though the Lord giving us this bread called adversity, like bread is something you eat. Like in this hell, we eating up all type of adversity and problems and horror and death and disease. Go ahead.
And the water of affliction.
And the water of affliction. We drinking affliction. We drinking up affliction, man. All the hell and then again diseases. All the hell that the Lord giving us in these ghettos, man. 7-year-old kids getting killed and locked up, and then young boys too. Shit, my wife got to tell me every week about somebody that got killed in somewhere around her way. Two young boys got killed in South Philly the other day.
Yeah.
Supposed to have been witnesses for some trial the next day. They get murdered the day before. And you know what I mean? All type of madness. And I heard a bunch of stuff with kids going on, getting locked up, and another kid got shot his cousin. Not a kid, it was young boys though. They arguing, and he shot his cousin in the stomach after because he got mad. You know, they fighting. Bah, he shoot him in the stomach. Leave. Now he feeling guilty. He flagged down a cop. Say, yeah, I just killed my cousin with a gun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's the hell we go through. Like, because we in such stress and such hell, we snap in a second. Like, he fighting his cousin that we love. Now he fighting nigga down, bah!
Right.
Yeah. Now he walk down the street, man. Hey, officer, yeah, I just shot him in the cousin, man. Something. Now he gonna do some time because the cousin died. You know what I'm saying? And that's the hell we going through. We eating up this adversity and drinking this affliction. Go ahead.
Yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
And all this hell we catching and this affliction and this adversity we catching, our teachers been hid in the corner all this time, sitting up in these churches. You know what I'm saying? Calling everybody sinners who ain't in the church. So now the sinners outside the church don't feel good enough to come into the church. They live in hell. Right. Hell, selling their body, women paying their rent because they selling their tail, selling their behind, and can't go in front of nobody, especially them church women, and get talked about. Mm-hmm. They hid up in the corner. But the Lord said, now what? Read that again.
Yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
The Lord said, your teachers ain't going to be moved into a corner anymore. Go ahead.
But thine eyes shall see thy teachers.
You're going to see your teachers when you're walking down the street. When you suffering your hell, walking back and forth down the streets of your hell, the Lord said he's going to set up men that you're going to see. He's going to set up teachers you're going to see. You be walking like, man, no, I ain't supposed to do this, but she called me, man. I know a man going to find out. I know R. Kelly got a damn song. He always sing about some damn adultery, man. That cat got a problem. His problem worse than I thought. I thought he just like a young girl. Every now and then. I couldn't follow him for that. They look so good. As long as this land is rough on him, so I know it might get rough on him. But this nigga always glorifying fucking some man woman, having sex with a man woman. Like he in the closet and oh my God, the song they build it up just like Christians do. And to the end where this cat about to open the closet and see him in the closet after dealing with his woman. Yeah. And that's what he said, about 4 parts to the song I heard. So you know what I mean? So this the hell we going through, man. And cats going to commit adultery and to sell their body and to sell drugs. Now the Lord said they're going to see the teachers now. Right. They're going to hear brothers saying, he's going to be going to sell, let me get this pack. You shouldn't be selling crack. The Lord said he's going to kill drug dealers. What them niggas talking about? Read on.
Right, that's right. The end. But thine eyes shall see thy teachers, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee.
You'll hear a word like you shouldn't sell them drugs. The Lord said you shouldn't be no drug dealer. You can't be killing your people. Right. Might make a cat think, oh man, go ahead.
Saying, this is the way.
I'll be like, this is the way you're supposed to go. The Lord said not to sell drugs to your people. We got to follow the commandments of the Lord. The same thing we say on the street, going to save a lot of people's lives, man. Right. Their eyes going to see their teachers. That's you, brothers. Brothers after you. Right. They're going to see their teachers and hear them saying, thine ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way. Walk ye in it. Go ahead.
Walk ye in it. When ye turn to the right hand.
You might be walking, make a turn, and you hearing cats and seeing cats on the corner talking about change your life. Don't sell drugs. Allah is not God. The Most High, you better than the Arabs. He said he chose you above the Arabs. He chose you above the Chinese and the Japanese. You're not African. Like, start questioning in your mind. What are you talking about? You going, when you turn to the right, go ahead.
And when you turn to the left.
And when you turn to the left. And when you turn to the left, the Lord said you're going to hear your teachers. You're going to see them. They're going to be on the streets. Now, let's go to Luke 14 and 16. Showing you how Christ said the same thing. Yahushua said the same thing. He said that these pastors that the Lord set up who destroyed the flock of the Lord, just like Jeremiah said, that they're going to be shut down. That the Lord going to destroy them and get rid of them. And these new pastors he's going to raise up going to be men according to the heart of the Lord, teaching with wisdom and knowledge. And they're going to be on the streets. And our ears going to hear them. People going to see them and hear them. Luke 14 chapter and the 16th verse.
Luke 14 and verse 16. Then said he unto him, a certain man made a great supper and bade many, and sent his servant at supper time to say to them that were bidden, come, for all things are now ready.
So now this is Yahushua. It's like, let me show him with you. Luke 14 and 16. Okay, go ahead. So now this is, it say a certain man made a great supper, and he invited a lot of people to this supper. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And sent his servants at supper time to say to them that were bidden, come, for all things are now ready.
So now he sent his servants to come bid these people to this supper. These servants is talking about the prophets who went to Israel to invite them to the kingdom. They showed them the way of the Lord. This is that supper that the Lord is talking about. Go ahead.
And they all with one consent began to make excuses.
And they began to make excuses. Now, why they don't want to follow the Lord? How they, dealing with different things other than the Lord, worshiping idols, following the other nations, all the evil that our people did in the past, all throughout from Genesis to Revelation, all the things we choose to do rather than believe that this is the anointed, rather than believe this prophet, or we going to follow Saul. Well, the Lord said to go kill Amalek. But I did kill Amalek. I just saved the king. I just saved the king and we kept the best of their cattle. Right. But the Lord said to kill Amalek and all his animals and everything. Yeah. But you think you did that, you just saved the best of the animals. And you saved the king of Amalek. Yeah. The Lord said he ain't with that. Read.
The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground. I must need go and see it. I pray thee, have me excused.
So they found reason not to do what the Lord said, not to come and hear about this supper, not to come to this great supper. Go ahead.
And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee, have me excused.
Go ahead.
And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come.
Now everybody got a reason on not to do what the Lord said. Go ahead.
So that servant came and showed his Lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant.
Now the Lord is angry. The master of the house is angry because they won't do what he said. They won't come to the supper. Go ahead.
Go out quickly into the streets and lanes and of the city, and bring in hither the poor and the maid and the halt and the blind.
And now, so because the first crew that was set up to be the leaders and to come like these Christian leaders and religious leaders. They supposed to be telling our people the truth about the Lord. They the pastors that exist that we look at to be our spiritual leaders. But they make excuses on how not to do what the Lord said. The white man that taught them Christ died for everybody. They don't want to deal with us being Israel because we got to live under the so-called white man. The government gave them these finances to build these mega churches and all that. So now they got to make deals with the heathen. Like I tell you in Maccabee, they made deals and covenants with the heathen, and when the Lord said not to make covenants with them. But our religious leaders do those things. Read.
Verse 22. And the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded.
And so the servant said, go into the streets and the lanes and bring the poor, the maimed, the halt, the blind. That's the Gentile. Those are the Gentiles that Christ said, now you go get them. Those niggas that's sick, running around sleeping with every brother's woman, thinking about doing cocaine, smoking all the weed they could smoke. Doing women wrong as hell. Brothers like me, you know what I'm saying? The Lord would sit down on the street to get them. Like, and we got to understand, for us to be in the truth right now, we got to be some of the sickest brothers that was out there. You know what I'm saying? We the sick and the main that Christ went and rescued. You know what I mean? We them destroyed brothers, getting a second shot. Read.
Okay. It is, and the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded, and yet there is room.
And it was still room. It was still room. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled.
He said the highways and the hedges. This is the street. Go out into the streets. Like it said in Isaiah, thy eyes shall see thy teacher. This is the same thing that went on, because the first cat, they hidden up in corners, in the churches somewhere, in the mosque, ain't helping the people. They destroying and scattering the flock. Got different reasons and excuses on how they want to do what they want to do. Well, see, you know, I just do what's right, and, you know, I keep God in my heart. God give me a revelation, and I just do that. But the Bible said this is, see, you know, the Bible, see, it's not so literal. Christians tell you the Bible ain't literal, and you ain't got to really follow it exactly like you're saying. They make excuses on not to follow the Lord. That's why Christ said, he worshiped me with your lips and with your mouth do honor me, but your heart is far from me. They make excuses on why they can't come to the supper. And so the Lord sent the servants on the streets now. They send the servants in the spirit out to wake brothers up on the streets, and the streets and the lanes and the highways and in the hedges. Go ahead.
Verse 24, for I say unto you, that none of those men which were bitten shall taste of my supper.
None of those men which were bitten shall taste of my supper. Oh, that first crew he came to, that's why he's speaking parables. That's why they ain't supposed to get it. The Most High don't want them to get it. That's why he's speaking in parables. Go to John 6 and 39. And I'll touch on Ezekiel too. Try to go fast.
Sorry.
Like all these, we're going to St. John 6 and 39. Because the Lord said he went to the first people to come and bid them to the supper, which is the kingdom. The second coming of Christ, all the glory that come with the kingdom, but they made excuses on why they couldn't come. Like they didn't want to do what it took to follow the Lord and receive the kingdom. So another crew was sent. Those pastors were cut off. Those shepherds were cut off, and another crew of shepherds were raised up. I say John 3, what did I say, 6 and 39?
39.
Everybody there? John 6 and 39. And this is the Father's will, which hath sent me, that of all which he hath given me,
And all which the Lord had given you. How was y'all? Go ahead.
I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day.
And we in the last days. Yahweh said he ain't gonna lose nobody that was ever down that the Father gave him. He ain't gonna lose none of them. Them same brothers that was down with Moses, and Moses said, whoever stand with me, stand with me. If y'all wanna stand with them niggas, go ahead. And the Lord swallowed their behinds up. The Lord swallowed them up, and the ground closed on them. And with it, Joshua said, okay, if these men, no, it might have been Moses or Aaron, where he said, if these men die in a way that we never seen before, then y'all know it is the Lord. But if they die in a way that everybody died from, then I'm a liar. I'm not the man the Lord chose. And the Lord, I think then the ground opened up and swallowed all them niggas and closed back in over them.
Right.
It might have still been Moses. It might have been. Right, I think it was Moses. And so and the Lord saying all them brothers that stood with Moses, they the same ones believed in the prophets. They the same ones who was down with Christ and believed in Christ, had multitudes following him. Multitudes and multitudes of people believed in Yahweh. You know what I mean? There was a lot of people that rejected him. And they try to say all the Jews rejected Christ. No, the scriptures say the scribes and the Pharisees and those niggas, the religious leaders, they the ones rejected Christ. But it said many Jews believed on Christ. He had multitudes of people following him. Paul had multitudes. There was multitudes of people. Those same brothers that follow Christ, Christ said the Father gave them to him and he gonna raise them up in the last day. You gonna see those same brothers. They coming in class. Learning the truth. Getting that mark. You know what I mean? Learning what the truth is. Go to Ezekiel 9 and 4. Then I'm going to go to Revelation 7. Then I'm going to try to get to a parable. And I'm like showing how these damn leaders think. These are few of many precepts dealing with these pastors.